Okay guys, I got an exciting PV here to review. It's the SmokeTech VV Gripper. It takes an 18650 battery, but as you can see, it's not really all that big. Okay, it stands 3 1/8 of an inch tall. That's 3 inches and 1/8, and it's variable voltage. Has the fire button right here at the top. Takes the 18650 battery, and the battery door is down here at the bottom. A lot of people have complained about that, but just like anything else with a plastic door, maybe a digital camera, something of that sort, that would be the most used device that's battery powered that you could basically compare this to. You know, you just got to be easy with them. Make sure that things are lined up. Don't go getting crazy. Do this too fast. Push too hard if something doesn't line up. But I haven't had any issues out of that. It has some venting back here. Kind of looks like a little speaker grill, but you can't actually see through it, so it's kind of staggered. Alright, right here is a button, and when you push the fire, that actually lights up. There is an option in there to turn the display on and off. I haven't looked into that particular aspect because it's just fine the way it is. This thing is a battery miser, okay? It will use up the batteries if you got it turned up high and you're vaping something low resistance. The minimum resistance you can run on this though is 1.1. I'm using the DID atomizer on here, and it's 1.4 ohms, okay? So let's see if I can get this thing to focus in, and I can show you guys one of the nice things that this actually does do. When you push this button down here, this is not the fire button, it's basically the menu button. You can get your resistance, and then if you wait a few seconds, you can see your battery voltage. Okay, so you know how much battery you got before you leave the house. If you got to go somewhere, you know if you need to bring a spare battery or not. Okay, so let me go ahead and push it. Hopefully it comes up decently on the camera. The display is really nice and clear, okay? The contrast on it is perfect. You can see it very easily, okay? I really like this mod. You can push it up and down, and you don't have to push it to activate it, okay? You just start going, and it moves the first click, okay? With that being said, it brings me to one of the negatives on this mod, okay? The first negative that I have for it is that you cannot lock the voltage in on it. So if you put this thing in your pocket, you're going to be in trouble. Because you're gonna pull it out, it might be up to 6 volts, and you're going to get a nice, dry, hot hit. and that always sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so that being said, I have actually used the 2.6 ohm VV Nova, and I've used it on top of this, and I take it to work with me. I can actually rock this thing at 3 volts, 2.6 ohms, because these things are way under tuned, and everybody knows what's going on with that. Basically what happens is, oh geez, oh there it is, sorry. Basically what has happened is this thing, when it's tuned down to 3 volts, it's basically right up around 4 volts, or closer to 4 volts than 3 volts, so it gives you a lot of power. But I'm going to tell you, 3 volts, this thing will take a 2000 mAh battery, and it will last 48 hours. Now that's not vaping non-stop, because a lot of times, like I said, I use this at work, so you know I use it whenever I can. But 2 days with an 18650 with this in the same amount of time, I probably would have went through 4 batteries. Okay, so that is a really good positive about this mod. Let me show you guys this thing at 3 volts. Okay, turn it down to 3 volts. Hopefully you can see that. That's all the vapor you're going to need. I mean, that's the lowest that this thing goes. And at 2.6 2.6 ohms. It's kicking. I mean, it's awesome. Now the connection, I've heard also that the connection can come loose on this. I haven't had any issues with that. Just need to kind of cinch the device down, or cinch your atomizer down to the device rather. Okay, I'm going to show you what this thing is doing with my 1.4 ohm coil on the DID at 4.1 volts. As you can see, it pushes out plenty of power, creates a lot of vapor in these Genesis atomizers. Well, that's going to do it. This is the SmokeTech VV Gripper. Very lovely device. I would give this a 9 out of 10. That's with anything that I've ever tried. This to me is my favorite. It is above and beyond the Provari. I love this a lot more than the Provari. The Provari was 3 amps. The V2 Provari was 3 amps. And this thing here runs Genesis and low ohm stuff a lot better. You can definitely tell that extra amp is really helpful. Okay, I can actually, well, before I go, let me show you guys this at 3 volts. And there was one other thing that I needed to mention too also. I'm glad that I took a little extra time. When you change the battery in this, it doesn't remember anything, okay? You actually have to turn it back on, push this 5 times. That'll turn it off now because it's been on. But when you take the battery out, it automatically needs to be turned back on, and also automatically defaults down to 3 volts. Not a huge deal. As you can see, it doesn't take long. The only thing that I don't like about that whole scenario is that you have to wait for the screen for the PV to start up. Basically, it says on, and then count to 5 Mississippi, then it shuts off, and then you can adjust the voltage. Okay, but when you adjust the voltage, it's instantly. Okay, and that's at least decent on there. But other than that, I have no negatives for this PV. So if you can pick one up, if you're in the market for something variable voltage, which everybody is, then you know that if you get this mod here, you're going to be happy with it. The price alone is worth the risk for you, but damn the risk. I mean, it's awesome. Okay, you're going to love it. It doesn't burn through batteries like most other things out there will. You're going to see an actual improvement in battery life out of this PV. If you don't, then let me know what you've been using and how you've been using it, because this to me is the best thing that I've found. I've never been able to go 2 days with an 18650 battery ever. So thanks for watching. That's going to do it. Alright, bye.